If we put up XRP and Solana and Dogecoin, those are all, I believe, cons. I mean, if we think that the XRP slash USD coin is something that we should be following, well, I mean, we should be following we should put up like Rent the Runway and Stitch Fix up there. I mean, honestly, I just find it's just a random group of things that we put up, and that I question that because I'm busy trying to find how to make money for people. And I don't want to try to figure out how to lose money for people.
Trillions of dollars in assets under management, and registered reps all over the country, financial advisors can now put people in Bitcoin. We knew it was going to make it go up. We knew the Trump administration was basically friendly to crypto. This was such an inevitable move. That's why it's gone higher now. That's probably why it's going to continue to go higher, because Bank of America, for example, the biggest bank, has not yet made that decision, and they are bound to.
Getting to, invest in markets through, let's say, crypto, they're investing in it, but now we could get them into the more traditional long-term retirement products. So we look at that as the next wave of opportunity for BlackRock over the next tens of years, as we start moving away from traditional financial assets by repotting them in a digital manner, and then having people stay in that digital ecosystem.
And then what everybody does is they convince you that we're failing because we have a bad day in the markets. There's always going to be a bad day for somebody in the market. Markets have winners and losers by their design. But there's always a good day in crypto when we look at the macro. And the macro is every day we get more adoption, better technology, more capabilities, more provability, less trust, more resilience, more decentralization.
Market. Trump last night came out and talked about crypto assets being eligible for 401ks. I mean, that's a monster pool of capital. And what we're just seeing is through these treasury companies, through all kinds of different avenues, the aperture of being able to buy crypto being widened and widened and widened. More avenues bringing people into the tent. I think one of the things that I actually didn't even comprehend is these treasury companies have done so well. The public equity markets are so much bigger than what the crypto markets were. And so as we're really broadening our reach through public equities into our asset class, you're just seeing tons of money pour in.
Someone could ask, well, so if the government can print unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, why did they collect taxes? I mean, in theory, it would make sense, right? If they can print unlimited amounts of money, why would they need taxes for? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not. It's shocking, but it's true. The government is funded by money printing, paper backed with paper, a bubble that will inevitably burst. The situation is even worse than it seems, because if most Americans and the rest of the world were to become aware of this farce, confidence in your currency would be lost, the dollar would fall, and the Western civilization with it.
But with Bitcoin, you're guaranteed an increase in purchasing power over time, whereas with fiat money like the US dollar, for example, you're guaranteed a loss of purchasing power over time, because the supply of fiat money is increasing by 15% on average globally. And in the US, that's approximately the rate at which it's increasing. That means every single year your purchasing power decreases by 15%. With Bitcoin, because it's a finite supply of 21 million Bitcoin, and that's never going to be any more Bitcoin, your purchasing power goes up relative to everything else that's being increased in supply, whether that's fiat money, even gold is increased in supply every single year, housing, obviously, fine art, et cetera. All other stores of value have a problem that as demand goes up, so does supply. Bitcoin is the only asset or commodity in the history of humanity that as demand goes up, supply stays fixed at 21 million. And therefore, the only thing in between that is price and price discovery. And that's what we're seeing right now. And the projection of a price of Bitcoin heading into the millions of dollars per Bitcoin is now accepted on Wall Street by the biggest players on Wall Street. Some of the biggest companies in America, like MicroStrategy, have a $13 million per coin Bitcoin projection in the next cycle. So the price is really almost, you could say, mathematically guaranteed to go higher, because the value of fiat money is mathematically guaranteed to go to zero against Bitcoin.
On X, we just rebuilt the entire messaging stack into X, what's called XChat.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah, it's cool. So it's using sort of peer-to-peer, sort of kind of a peer-to-peer based encryption system. So it's kind of similar to Bitcoin. So it's I think very good encryption. We're testing it thoroughly. We're not
skeptical of crypto at one point. You're still skeptical.
I've gotten away with no damage so far. Crypto is real. If you mean blockchain, stable coins, you have a JP Morgan deposit coin, you can move stuff, smart contracts are real, all that stuff is real. It will be used by all of us to facilitate, better transactions and customer service. If anybody